Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Fall Fun in the Sun episode here. As you can see, it's a gorgeous day out, and we are here. We're visiting back with Tammy because remember, like I told you earlier in the season, we were coming back here, and this was going to be our project for the year. So we want to see how you did today. We're also going to go over some daylily fall care, some of the challenges, so that hopefully everybody realizes, they maybe don't have a black thumb. You really do have a green thumb, because some of us that are considered, pros or advanced had our issues as well. And lots of other things here. So stay tuned. We will be right back, and we're also going to announce our contest winner.
I love the farmer's market because I love knowing where my food comes from. I love that it comes from someplace close to home and it didn't travel far to get here. And I love that they have fair prices and everything is always delicious because it's so fresh. And I invite everyone to come experience the market for themselves and find out why they love the market. Wednesdays from 3 to 7 at the fairgrounds in Dover.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to a gorgeous fall day in Tuscarawas County. I have with me Tammy.
Hello.
We are back here, and as you can see, we have survived the summer, or the latter part of summer. The first thing I want to do, thank you everybody that entered the summer plant contest. We had some really awesome entries, some gorgeous gay feathers, gorgeous, 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 and some beautiful basil that our winner, which was Heather Scott. She actually won our last fall contest. So there's something, or our summer contest, there's something going on with this picture here. She seems to be on a roll. But lucky for her, everybody liked the basil. And so she won a very nice prize package from DRAM. And this is where I also want to take a minute to really thank DRAM. A lot of people are still pinching pennies and everything else, and DRAM, I have to say thank you so much. I do love your products, and I am so ecstatic that you have sponsored everything this year. You guys really need to show some love. They have excellent products. That's the reason why I love them so much. They do.
Yeah,
they really do.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's worth every penny. And I want to thank everybody who entered our contest. So look forward next year to even more. We've already branched out and had 2 this year, so we're going to have more next year. Secondly, even though I know it's coming to the end, and I'm so sad that these are our last 2 episodes, I'm going to be busy anyhow, because for the Tuscarawas County, the 4-H Horse Committee, I'm going to be putting together baskets for benefits. So you'll just have to keep an eye out on my Facebook page and my Garden Girl page to find out what crazy creations I'm going to be doing for them for their fundraiser. But you can find it on there. You can email me at heather@wjertv2.com if you're interested. And that's about it, the synopsis for the county community stuff there. Now, what I want to kind of get into is I've heard a lot, and me and Tammy were talking before we even started the tape rolling here. I know a lot of you guys really were challenged this year. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Tammy, how did you think overall the gardening season went?
Well, the plus side was we didn't have real high humidity most of the summertime. The main challenges is we had tons of rain the beginning of the summer, and then we got into her typical 90s, and we had no rain. And the ground cracked, and things started to look bad and dried up and quit growing. They kind of go into a summer dormancy when we have that 4 to 6 weeks of no rain. Now everything's starting to thrive again. So, you know, you don't have to worry if you got dried up leaves. Your plants, especially your perennials, they're going to recover and they're going to be happy next year.
Yeah, they're very resilient, really
Some
resilient.
of the challenges I really did have was we line out these daylilies, and the time that I would be doing it is when I'm selling, and we got into this high heat, so I'm tearing the daylilies down to one fan as a farmer and lining them out. Well, we didn't have no water, so they just kind of sat there. Now they're starting to pop up, but they really look like they were just going to not make it.
Right.
And there may be some of the very small ones that aren't going to make it, but that's just the kind of the life cycle we go through as gardeners. And another issue we had, I hybrid during that heat, and I did have some seeds that, when I hybrid, I am pollinating the flower and then for it to set pod. And the pods are what you see everywhere, all dried up. And some of them aborted. They didn't produce seeds. And that, you know, when you're putting the time into it, you want to get your seeds. I didn't. That's okay.
Yeah, it's like lost labor. You're like, darn it, this is a bummer.
Yeah, but it's just part of farming, you know.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. Other things could have happened. We still could have had no rain. We have had rain, and things are recovering.
Yeah, and frankly, I know that when, you know, you guys heard me really have my bah humbug moment when we were out at the tomato garden and things were really, really just stunted. You know, I know a lot of people lost pepper plants. I know a lot of people lost their tomato plants. Some were struggling. Once the heat did kick in, I know a lot of you guys were really struggling to keep these hanging baskets and these combo pots watered. I get it. You know, when you leave for work at 7 in the morning, the optimum thing, yeah, get out there, soak it. Because you know if it's going to be 90 degrees, it's going to go through it. I know some of you guys said, geez, I missed it. We were running late. It just is what it is. And I hate that saying sometimes, but it is what it is. And, you know, that's the problem. When you get blasted with these 90-degree days and your plants need the full sun and you don't water, yeah, there's a good chance you're going to fry them. And, yes, they will recover, but, you know, it's going to take a couple weeks. And you lose 2 weeks of the summer prettiness that you want on your porch or on your deck. I had the same issue that she did with some of my perennials, where they were really hurting. And I even go in and water and still fertilize and do that whole rigmarole. The heat was just knocking the snot out of them. I was coming home and they were showing heat stress from being wilted, and I knew darn well that they were wet. I knew they were watered underneath. But it just, you know, again, Mother Nature recoups itself. I think that's safe to say.
It is. And that's the beauty of perennials. And, you know, it is. I mean, they will recoup.
Yeah. So even if things started to look kind of snuffed out here by the end of the year, it's okay, guys. It honestly is. You weren't the only ones. So don't feel bad. You know, kind of like I say, if it dies, it dies.
That's
Move on.
Gardening.
Yeah.
It's part of gardening. You learn.
Yes. Yeah. That's why seed companies make seeds every year, and you've got people like us that'll propagate and make new plants for you, and you can try again, and you can chalk it up because then you know what doesn't work. So when we come back, we are going to get into, we're going to have Tammy get into our cutting project. So we're going to grade you guys and see how you did, or you're going to grade yourselves because I guess I can't jump there and see it. So stay tuned. We are going to be right back.
Brilliantly practical scientist Harriet Tuttle's search for a more efficient life concluded with an unorthodox solution. Harriet created 4 more Harriets. Together they were a model of efficiency. However, while identical, they had their own interests and their own retirement plans, each customized with a Raymond James financial advisor, allowing them to enjoy life separately and together. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
As a parent, we always want what's best for our child. In the case of one child, it may be going off to college. In another case, staying home and going to college. And yet, in other cases, it could be going right into the workforce. But how will they have the skills to do that? Buckeye Career Center has been the answer for one of our daughters. She's learning to do things with her hands that are going to be very valuable for her in the workplace. And we're excited we have Buckeye to thank for that.
Adults who return to Buckeye Career Center to continue their education usually have one goal in mind. They want the opportunity for a better job. The fact is, adult education programs at Buckeye Career Center are less expensive and provide greater opportunities for job placement following graduation. It's your future. Get the facts. Buckeye Career Center. We put people to work. Find out more about your future at buckeyecareercenter.org.
Hi guys, welcome back. Well, it's time to give yourself a grade here. So if you remember, and if you didn't see the episode, you can go back and watch it. We did a cutting episode because we wanted you guys to start doing some more advanced things in gardening, to try your hand at some new stuff that maybe you haven't before. Maybe you've dropped some seed. Maybe you just go to the store and buy plants. Either way, that's a beautiful thing, and I am so proud of everybody that does that. However, we wanted to up the ante a little bit and let you guys try your hand at cuttings. So we did that out at Tammy's. So if you go back to that episode, you're going to find out real quick how we did it and how you can do it yourself. Now, it has been approximately 6 weeks, maybe 2 months max. And we took some small cuttings. And one of them was a mint, one of them was a potentilla. So I think we have the potentilla with us today. How's it going? How is yours going?
Mine's doing very nicely. This is my little baby. And if you remember, we started with a little stick. And it was only this big. And we stuck it in soil. And it is rooted now. It's nicely rooted. Now this is a little shrub. So if you did something such as basil or mint, you could have a full-size plant right now. But since it is a shrub and I have been trimming it to get it to form nicely, it's doing very nicely. This is ready to go into the ground. It's got a nice root system.
Go for it. I don't care. You can pop it out to show them.
See, we got a nice little root system.
You do. Look at all them.
So this is a nice little size also. You can just pop it into the ground very easily, and it's going to grow. There's no overwinter care. By the time our ground freezes, this is going to have a nice root system, and it's going to survive the winter with no problem. A little mulch around it, a little bit of leaves, whatever you have, just to give it a little extra protection. And this baby's going to be blooming all summer next year. And actually by next year, it's going to be a nice size plant. And these little potentillas, if you keep them trimmed up nicely, they're nice plants. If you let them get all woody, they're ugly. And if that happens, everybody's got them in their yard. Usually they got the yellow ones. This is a good time to cut those babies down. And they bloom on new growth, so that's important to know. They'll flush out new growth in the spring, and you'll have an abundance of flowers through the whole season, which is unusual for a perennial plant. These guys will bloom late spring through frost. And
do you find if you, and maybe that's not so much with these, but with my annuals and my perennials, you know, if one gets fertilized, what's it gonna hurt? Now, I've had good luck doing that.
No more fertilizer right now.
Well, no, not now. Yeah. Not now. And I've been telling people that, guys, cut it. It's time for these guys to go to sleep. Yeah. So you do want to knock it off. But, you know, in the spring, it doesn't hurt in summer, especially, you know, I like the potentillas. I know some landscapers do not like them. I get that, but they do come in pink and white. I've seen them in the, yeah.
And there's, Also a very bright pink one. It's not easy to find on the market. I will be carrying it next year, but it's a really bright pink opposed to like the Pink Whisper that's got a hint of pink through it. They're easy. They're drought tolerant. They can be watered every day. You pretty much can abuse them. But they did get very, very ugly. In fact, at the end of the driveway, I have a very ugly one that needs to be trimmed down. Trimming's the whole key with them, and they got such fine branches. They're easy to trim. Just trim them down, and they'll be pretty.
Well, and they're not.
You can trim them anytime. They're not fussy, and you're only going to lose flowers for maybe 2 weeks. As I said, they flower on new growth.
And that's the other thing, you know, trimming them back, you can keep them into a ball shape. I've seen them kept a little more angular. And the one thing I like about them is they're not prickly. They're very nice and soft. Well, if you don't let them get woody, you know, but if you keep them nice, they're a soft shrub, they're a pretty shrub. And it's not like the rhododendrons where it's a, ooh, ah, oh. Yeah. You know, or your fall, some of your fall bloomers like your 9-bark. You know, it's gorgeous right now, but
the first wind, it's gone.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there are reasons why, you know, I do like the potentilla myself. I do treat it more like a perennial. I do feed it, but you're gonna make more flowers and prettier. Now, is there any recommendation on potting soil?
You know, the better it drains, the best. I like to use peat, perlite, even compost in perlite works. Or if you got a good compost pile, you use some bark in with it. You want drainage. You don't want that peat to just, once it gets wet, it stays wet. Once it gets dry, it takes forever to get it wet. So if you balance it out with some perlite or with some bark mulch, and your best bet is to have your bark mulch pile beside your compost if you want to use your own soil and mix it together, but you want that bark to break down, or you can take a rototiller over it and break it up some, but it gives really good drainage, and it does retain some moisture without soppiness, and it helps your soil drain. But that's what you do with the peat and the perlite too. The perlite's giving you some drainage, and it retains a little bit of the moisture. So however you would like to do it, you know, there's some great options that are bagged. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Miracle-Gro if you're doing a couple pots, or Pro Mix if you're doing a few more, if you want to get a bale of it. They're good soils, and, you know, they'll do what you need.
And there's lots of choices out there. There are lots of different ways, but like she said, drainage is key. It's kind of key with everything. There's very few things that want to sit in water. Very few things. So stay tuned. When we come back, what we're going to do is get into a little bit of the fall care on the daylilies, because almost everybody has them, just different kinds. So stay tuned, and we're also going to wrap up, and we're going to let you know what's coming up on our next episode, our very last episode for the season, I should say, and it's going to be a lot of fun too. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm TV2 Sports Talk's Bill Morgan. Some people are outstanding at playing sports, and then there's me. While we at TV2 Sports Talk may have never been All-State on the field, we are Tuscarawas County's MVP when it comes to local television sports talk and play-by-play. Catch TV2 Sports Talk Wednesday nights at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 on DMG Channel 2.
Searching for quality bottled water? Call Crystal Springs Water Company. Crystal Springs Water is a family-owned and operated company that's been proudly serving the community since 1986. Crystal Springs offers a quality bottled water in a variety of sizes to suit your everyday needs. They also carry a selection of water coolers, cups, bottle racks, hydro pumps, and premium water softening salts. All available for pickup or delivery. Call Crystal Springs Water Company today.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
Hi everybody and welcome back. We are still here out at Helwig's, and now we're going to get some tips and some tricks on what she does out here, because she obviously has a lot of flowers, a heck of a lot of flowers out here, a lot of perennials, a lot of shrubs. And so I'm going to have her kind of go over some of the different common ones that you probably have in your garden, or maybe you bought a house and you've kind of inherited them, and what you can do in the fall to ensure, how do I want to say, ensure that they come back. You know, we had a really bad winter last winter. I know a lot of people lost stuff. So we're going to go over some of the daylilies, what she does with the daylilies here in the fall to get them ready, and then some of the other common ones. So Tammy, you know, I know you're mostly known for the daylilies. However, you know, what do you have to do with these guys, and what should people at home do with theirs in the fall to really help them thrive through the winter? Because apparently we're supposed to have another bad winter. Just FYI. I'm sorry if you hadn't heard that, but it's supposed to go down. Could be dry, but it's supposed to be pretty bad again. So what is your plan of attack starting with the daylilies?
Well, if they're going to come back or not, there's not much you have to do. A lot of people like to do some cleanup. You know, don't fertilize them or anything like that. Just let things take their course. You can take your scapes off of your daylilies. You can cut them back if they're starting to look really dry and rough. Mine's recovered pretty nicely. If you want to grow your seeds, this is the time. See, our seed pod is starting to break open. It's dry, and we have some seeds in here. And all you do is take that off. We'll put this right here. And you break open your pods, and there's all these beautiful...
Oh, look at them.
And I'm dropping them all over the ground. The birds will like that. Beautiful black seeds. And what you would do with these, this is a good time to harvest them. They're ready. All you would do is lay them out on a piece of paper. It could be newspaper or anything. Just let them dry out for a couple days. And then if you want to label them, you would have with them what variety it is if you are serious about high breeding. If not, if you're just going to see what you end up with, after they're dried for a couple days, just put them in a little Ziploc bag, like a snack size baggie, and put it in your lettuce crisper drawer until spring. And then in spring, around April, you can plant them in pots outside and let them sprout. And once they got nice roots on them, plop them in the ground, and it's going to take 2 years before you see the flowers. Once you see the flowers, you can divide them out, because some could be white, some could be yellow, some could be purple. You can get all different colors from one seed pod. So as far as to ensure that they're going to come back, there's nothing specific you have to do. There's a lot of thoughts. Do I have to clean all the dead foliage off? It acts as a protector. You know, it does help protect the roots. Mother Nature knows what she's doing. In my opinion, I clean up in the spring. Now, I want to get all the weeds out. That's a definite. You don't want things seeding worse than your husband mowing the grass into your beds has already happened.
Yep.
So, you know, the best thing you can do for your gardens is get those weeds out. If you want to collect seeds, this is a good time to collect seeds. I mean, your echinaceas, your black-eyed Susans, if you want to get more going.
Which we're gonna get into that on next week's episode with Tammy, is some of these other fun little common perennials and what we're gonna do here with them. And I know I like the daylilies. I think they're great for the beginning garden. And see, even if you're brand new and you're watching this show, go outside, do what she just said, because there you go. You have some new plants to grow in the spring. It didn't cost a penny.
No. I mean, you can have a whole beautiful garden for next to nothing.
Yeah.
Share with your friends. There's garden clubs that you can join. And they have, actually, the Tuscarawas County Library's got a seed library.
Yeah.
You go down and get some seeds.
Yeah. And that's another easy way to start your garden. If you're scared about losing stuff and losing money, you know, that's a really easy way to get started and try your hand at some stuff. Okay, so we really hope that you guys learned a few things and that you're not afraid with the cuttings, you're not afraid with the daylilies and seed starting. Now, next week on the episode, you want to stay tuned because it's going to be our hoodies and hot chocolate, man. It's all about getting ready for fall and, unfortunately, Christmas. So, I'll see you guys next week. Till then, take care.